All right. We are live. We are back after a 2-week hiatus. There we go. Yes. Get it.
Yes.
This is for Blood and Guts. That's for yesterday.
I'm Adam Cole.
There you go. That's for Courtney right there. That's for Courtney.
That's for Oh
Yeah.
my God.
I got one for Anna too.
There you go. Daniel Garcia.
There you go, Anna.
Nice.
Me and Anna used to do that back in the days.
Ooh,
Let me tell you.
shit.
Yeah, we used to listen to 80s, what would Duran and Tears for
Her
Fears?
name is Rio, and she dances by the sand.
Yes.
Hey.
Hungry like the wolf.
Wow, you took it back.
Yeah.
All the
80s.
way.
80s arguably had the best music, I think.
I
90s.
always feel that way.
90s had a good too.
I always feel that way. People in the chat are saying hello to y'all. The guys are enjoying some beverages. I have my water.
This ain't water.
There's water in this.
Same
I think.
water.
There's water in this.
You get some
Watered
water.
down.
There's like some water in it. But yes, we are back. Had to take a 2-week hiatus. One day I wasn't feeling so well, and then another day I had an appointment. So it happens, adulting. All right. I'm not standing up, but
I'm moving my arms just to piss off Lou.
it was like you're getting ready to box.
We talked about this in
Put 'em
the pre-show. We talked about this. When you do the Daniel Garcia dance, you cannot move your arms.
It's just hips.
It's
just
all hips. It's like there, right there.
It's all
Hit
hips.
Hit it. That's it.
I can
Listen.
floss. I mean, try that. No.
You do a floss dance. You know what? I could never. I get so confused. I get dizzy when I try to do that shit. My nephew was doing that, and he went like supersonic. Like he was like, dipping with
I
that
still
shit. I was
can't
like,
get
how
that
do you do that?
dance. I still cannot get that dance because I just have rhythm. So I just.
Well, what about the orange? Was it the Orange Justice? This one, the kids do this one, or it's like,
You know what it is? The dances from my generation growing up and the dances from this generation are like night and day. I can't. We used to do the pepper seed, Running Man, catch catch. We had, real moves. This whole arm thing with the stiff arms. I'm like, what the fuck? I can't get that shit. But anyhow, welcome to my show. In case you don't know who's in the room with me, but not technically in the room, I have my dude, Lou from the Bronx, from Wrestling is Trash, and Mr. Myndrunner from Mental Health Mondays. But I'm going to let y'all tell people where they can find you, how to follow you, even though it's all in the description, but also when your podcasts come on and all that good stuff. So take it away, whoever wants to go first.
well, you can find Myndrunner in a lot of different places. I have my Mental Health Monday podcast. The full episodes drop every Monday morning at 7 a.m., but that gives you the whole day to listen to it. Drops on YouTube and clips throughout the week. There's a very special episode dropping on July 31st, I believe, is the 31st. None other than the Top Rope Squishmeister herself will be joining me for a chat. And you got to go back and check out my long chat with Lou from the Bronx, because that was an epic episode. We got into a lot of cool issues and a lot of cool stuff. I also have the Educators Podcast every Thursday afternoon. And you can find me here a lot of times. If I'm not on the screen, I'm in the chat for Top Rope Squishy when she is recording. And occasionally, I might even pop on to Wrestling is Trash with this guy.
Lou from the BX, host of the Everything Podcast, co-host of Wrestling is Trash. I'm all excited today. You guys know where to find me. I'm not even going to try to promote. Today's not about promotion. I'm not wearing anything to promote myself. I'm just here out of love and respect for my people. And it's not often that you find yourself amongst your two number one contenders
Ooh.
for this shit right here.
I need
Bill,
that.
what makes you think that you guys can wrestle this from me, not physically,
No,
but
I can't do shit physically.
because we're not doing that. We're not gonna do that. Not worry about Myndrunner. I think he's got a lot of forearm strength. I saw his arms moving in the pre-show. I don't know about that. That's a little scary to me. I might. But
Hates me.
Uh-oh, there's someone in the chat that says
who's
that's
trying
her
to?
belt.
Oh.
Courtney trying to come for the title too. Listen,
What?
That's a beautiful title. Look at that.
That's beautiful. That's going to look beautiful around my waist or over my
don't
shoulder.
mind the fingerprint. Hey, no, listen. One day there will be the challenge will be laid down for this, and I will mail this if I'm beaten. Unfortunately, I will be making the rules for the challenge.
Should I send you my address
Good luck to
now?
you.
Should I send you my address now?
I'm like, I'll send you my address.
Good luck to you.
But yes, we are here. I'm so happy I got these two guys on at the same time. I've been wanting both of you guys on because you're both hilarious, and I feel like the chemistry is perfect. And yes, Team Courtney. Hey, Team Courtney.
Oh, hashtag Team Courtney.
Hashtag Team Courtney.
Team Courtney. You're getting a lot of love off the belt. The belt is beautiful. Yes, please do tune in to Mental Health Monday on July 31st, which is also my puppy's second birthday.
Well, shout out to Falgor.
And here we go. I'm Team Anna. Anna Banana. What's up?
Should I make one too? Because I'm just gonna be like, I'm Team Me.
There you go. Generation Me. That was the Young Bucks when they were in Impact Wrestling.
That's right.
Just me.
Generation Me. What were their names? Nick and something Buck. Their last names were Buck.
Yeah, Danhausen sometimes calls them that.
I don't know.
It was so stupid. Yeah, they were in Impact Wrestling for like a minute, like literally like a minute, like they were in and out of there. But they called themselves Generation Me.
Yeah.
And it was like Nick and Terry Buck were their names or something.
It was so
something silly. Like it was so ridiculous. They were awesome though. No. That's actually the first time I got familiar with them was in Impact, and then I had to go back and find out all their other stuff.
The Bucks are amazing, and we are so going to talk about them tonight for that blood and guts because that's going to take up, I think, most of our time before we get to the hot seat. Well, but all in all, because I always like to get your overall view of the show, what would you rate last night's show from 1 to 10?
Last night was a 10 out of 10 just because of that dancing segment. Listen, I know we'll get into it in detail, but God damn it.
Oh, we are.
Look, if you hate AEW for whatever reason, if you're a WWE fan and you just hate AEW for, I don't know how you can see something like that and just not even just at least just take yourself out of like that funk of being hateful to one group or another and just fucking enjoy that moment, man. That shit was hilarious.
Courtney, a 2 out of 10. Oh, Courtney.
Damn.
Of course.
Doesn't like AEW anymore.
That is bad.
Heel Courtney.
Bad
Heel
score.
Courtney. Heel Courtney's in the house. What about you, Myndrunner? What did you give it?
Well, Courtney must be wearing a turtleneck like Christian, I think. That's what's going on there. I agree. In fact, if I could go 11 out of 10, I would. This is, and we've been getting a lot more hits instead of misses. And again, I don't think Dynamite ever has a miss show. There are sometimes a miss segments, I think, but especially with Will Washington, ever since he's joined, I'm starting to still get that old Dynamite feel every now and then. But the segments, the last night's show was so tremendous from start to finish. There were no misses. Even that Britt Baker squash, which what we might be able to talk about, it did what it was supposed to do, and it just everything was great. So many cool things happen. I go 10 out of 10. If I could go higher, I would.
Sweet. So I gave it also. I gave it a 9.5/10, and the reason why is because of the Britt Baker match, and not because it was a squash, but because I wish we would have seen a little bit more of Kayla Sparks, but I know there wasn't enough time to showcase that because it was a blood and guts show. That's why they got a whole hour dedicated to the main event. So I do understand that. But For anybody who wants to know a little bit more about Kayla Sparks, tune into We Love Wrestling and just search We Love Wrestling Kayla Sparks, and you will see yours truly joining Trey D, interviewing her. I think it was a couple of months, maybe a year ago. So it's really cool to see some of the people that we've interviewed coming on Dynamite. Willow was one of them.
She's awesome.
Oh my God.
Just the way that you see her.
Much.
She's super bubbly.
Much.
She's amazing.
I don't know. I'm not like one of these weirdos who, whatever. But my God, if I was ever to meet her, I'd be like, yo, can I hug you? I need a hug.
And she probably will hug you back.
She is just the greatest.
Maddie, can I ask you a question? Oh, I didn't mean to cut you off. Sorry, Luke.
No, you're good.
Can I ask you a question? Who's more positive, Willow or Kayla Sparks?
Oh, that is a tough one. I would say Willow wins by like a smidget, but Kayla Sparks is just bubbly as well, happy. This is what you see is what you get from them. So it's really cool. We also interviewed Sky Blue a couple of times while she was still in Mission Pro. So, but yeah, it's, so just tune in. If you like women's wrestling and you like to support the indie wrestlers, We Love Wrestling is like one of the best podcasts for that. And they do it before they become like famous. So, they're not doing it for clout. They're doing it to try to get the wrestlers noticed. So, but anyway, last night got started with Jack Perry burying his Jungle Boy and his mantis. His jungle mantis, which made me very happy. He got rid of his mantis. I'm very happy about that. But I'm still having a hard time adjusting to his heel.
Absolutely.
Even though he is trying to engage the crowd. He went up against Hook, as you guys obviously know, and he won the FTW belt. By cheating, because that is what heels do. And I think the match was really great. They really put as much as they could in whatever a lot of time they were given. Hook has always been phenomenal to me. Like it was almost like he's been wrestling for 10 years, not a year. But hello, his dad is Taz, so
right.
And he's a commentator. Like you don't want to fuck that up. But what do you guys think? Like, I mean, what do you think about Jack Perry's change about the little thing they did prior to he axed his music? It's now like this real, I forgot what it's called, but it's a really popular song. The
Beethoven's symphony or what have you. And
Beethoven's second or something like that.
Lou and I called it. Lou said Hollywood Jack Perry, and I think we've got Hollywood Jack Perry. I think that's it. And I think we got to give Jack Perry, not Jungle Boy. I'm still trying to. We got
Jungle Boy's dead.
He is. He's buried. And it's funny how he kind of did the Christian thing. What Christians claimed he saw inside him, he's actually embracing now. I think we got to give Jack Perry the Britt Baker treatment. Because this is Jack Perry is like Britt Baker 2019. Let this heel character evolve. He's got a lot of people there to coach him. This was the right move. Lou called it. This is the right move for this kid, is to turn him heel, and he's going to get better and better and better at this new persona. I have a question to ask. I want to get Lou's thoughts, but my question is, do you bring Anna Jay in? Because with the JAS seemingly falling apart, do you put him with Anna Jay and kind of have this kind of like how Kip and Penelope were, or Sammy and Ty? Or do you let him explore just being a heel? And do we put him with a faction?
So for me, the beginning, when he first started the heel thing, like that first promo, I was very disappointed with that first promo, because what I feel like he would be best at is a over the top, like cheesy Hollywood type heel character. Like he's like Hollywood Jack Perry, baby. That type of shit. Yeah, that type of shit. Because he's trying to come off like as a badass, and it's like, dude, I'll slap the shit out of you. Like he does not, anything that he does not give off to me the aura of him being a badass. He has that, bro. He could grow a beard. He has that baby face. He just has that round baby face.
Cut the
And
hair.
he doesn't give off that. But there's things he could do with the hair, though. Like, he could just tie that shit in an obnoxious ponytail, like something just really, like a man bun. Like, he could do things with that. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And he can come out with the leather jacket and the limo. Like, when he started doing the thing where he was running away from Hook, I was like, okay, you got something with that. You got something with that. That's that cowardly heel shit, and that works. So last night when he came
child
out,
locks, remember the child locks?
Yeah. So when he was doing the burial thing, I was like, beautiful. The only thing you need to do is when you go to the limo, just say Jungle Boy's dead, Hollywood Jack Perry's here, put on some dark shades and get in the limo. That's it. That's all he had to do. But they left that part out. If they would have just added that, I think it would have been a little better. But the match itself, I thought the match was great. I love Hook. Hook is awesome. Like, I'm with that whole Hook thing. And it really, him winning the belt, like, there's things that they can also do with that to elevate the story. Bro, he can get that belt, what do you call it, sanctioned. He could, like, go to Tony Khan and get the belt sanctioned and just be like, look what I did. Now this belt counts. It matters, blah, 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 blah. They can go off with that. And him beating Hook was perfect because, I mean, Hook's been undefeated for like 2 years, bro. Like, eventually that's got to come to an end. So
it was time.
Yeah, I think the whole segment last night wrapped up like really good. So the music, not a fan of.
Yeah,
they got to do something. I think they need to do a variation of the 90210 song.
Bro, that 90210 thing, that shit was hilarious.
A lot of people were talking about Dylan, which was his dad, Luke Perry, in 90210. I have to change my co-title because Lou's the eater of tacos, Myndrunner's the eater of nachos. I need to be the eater of something. We're in a podcast together.
We're keeping this clean, though, right? We're keeping this clean.
Eater of pizzas.
There you go.
That's
okay.
Of platanos. But
there we go.
So we all agree he has some work to do.
Right. And I think he'll develop his personality over time. The more he gets, he gets a little more time on the mic and stuff. And I'm sorry, I mean to jump back in. As far as Anna JAS, I think that would work. I think that would work to have her be there because she honestly is a little better on the mic than he is. Not saying that she's amazing, but she's a little better. And at first, I was thinking keep him away from Christian and Luchasaurus, but bro, I gotta tell you, last night when he opened the limo, I swear to God, I thought Christian was gonna be sitting in the limo.
Yeah.
And I think that would have been Raw. So I'm kind of coming around on that one.
I think it should happen. Now that Luchasaurus is heel and Christian Cage is a super heel, now is the time to bring him back to that circle.
I think there's a lot that they can get out of mileage they can get out of that.
Yeah, so, he's kind of already put it out there too. He said, I'm still dating the baddest bitch in the locker room. And
yes,
he's
I don't want to see her. It's overdone. The person coming out with their person, I think. Yeah. That's just me. Mr. No Neck Montone is being nasty. As we were talking about the eater of. He's
damn. Yes. I didn't even put that together. Wow. Come on, man. This is supposed to be like a PG show. Sort of.
This show is not PG.
Kind of.
Do not bring your children to watch this show. Period.
Get a babysitter.
Yes. Unless you have one of those kids that you allow to hear grown-up talk. That's up to you. But this is not a PG, not even PG-13. Anyway, that brings us to the tag team eliminator. My God, Myndrunner, Better Than You, Baby, is the tag team I didn't know I needed in my life. I love it. Can MJF be any more over? Like my husband was saying, as a heel, he's super over. As a face, he's super over. Like, is there anything he can't do? And putting him together with Adam Cole was like magic. I don't know who thought about this, but it works in a phenomenal way. I love their little bro moments that they show prior to the match. They went to eat Chinese food and
double clothesline.
Yes, they double clothesline the the owner, I guess, of the restaurant. Listen, I love this tag team, and unfortunately, they already showed some cracks yesterday. I hope they don't break it up so soon. I would love
Lustradamus prediction.
Yes. Did you predict this, Lou?
I, on this very podcast, have said more than once that MJF will be the biggest baby face fucking ever in AEW. Now, granted, I know that this whole thing is, you know what's funny about this? Like, when it started, I was like, ugh, another one of those like buddies, but one's gonna turn on the other, and one of those angles. And as the weeks have gone by, I'm like looking at MJF and I'm like, bro, all these years, one of the little mini angles they've been doing with MJF and whoever he's feuding with is that, like, he literally has no friends. Like, no one likes him, no one trusts him. He can't keep a woman. He has no actual friends. He has to buy his friends because he sucks. That's been the thing with him. And I'm watching this yesterday, and when they hit the music, which put that to the side, we'll talk about that music in a second. Put that to the side. When he hit that music and he grabbed Adam Cole and picked him up and spun him around, and then not only that, the way Adam Cole reacted to him, like, what the fuck are you doing? And then they fist bump, and immediately MJF is like, let's get into character tag team mode, and he starts doing the walk. He's high-fiving everybody. Like, I'm like, damn, are they gonna do a thing where like MJF actually gets like heartbroken because he really actually likes Adam Cole? Like, there's so many nuances to this that it's like, I'm like, dude, I just keep going, just keep doing this.
The way he emulates it's beautiful. The Adam Cole thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
only one
pairing.
thing,
Perfect pairing.
I'll let you guys go off on this. The only thing is that why aren't they doing, when they do the Adam Cole, baby, why aren't they doing better than you, baby? Why aren't they doing that?
Because they have to come to our neck of the woods where we're going to scream that out.
Yes.
No.
I think it's going to come.
When he comes out, I go, Butch.
Johnny Hungy.
Yes,
I'm like the only one who's there doing that. Everyone's saying boom and a boo.
No, we do budge. We do budge when we're here. We also was it Alex Reynolds? He just said "Suck me, beautiful" when he did that one.
Oh my god!
So we shout that out.
That is hilarious.
I agree. I think this is tremendous, and yeah, I mean, this is one of those. They're playing with the trope, like you said, that they're going to be friends, but then there's going to be a betrayal. But I think you're right. I think the betrayal is going to come from Adam Cole.
Yeah, and that's what Courtney thinks.
I think, well, because they're already playing this. This thing is just oozing story. There's so much going on. The whole thing with MJF saying, "Oh, this is what it's like to play video games with friends when you have friends." And it's like, there's this sympathy and the pop when they did double clothesline, like the crowd. I mean, the crowd wasn't really on their feet for much of the show up to this point. Everybody was on their feet for this. It was crazy, but just the subtle stuff they're planting. You got Roderick Strong feeling left out. Like, where are you going? You're supposed to be my friend. I'm sure. Exactly. I'm sure Kyle O'Reilly's going to come back at some point, and there's going to be a bit of a pull on Adam Cole. But I hope they run with this all year long. I hope they keep this. This is just so good. The things that they can do. I feel like this is tremendous. And MJF is always going to be MJF. I don't think he's ever going to be like he's ever going to be a true babyface in the in the character feel. But Lou's absolutely correct. I mean, he is over. He is like, people cheer him, not just in Long Island. They really love him, and I'm excited to see where they're going to go with this.
Yes,
I think they need to beat FTR. I think now.
Yes,
I have also
people.
Not to segue out of this conversation, but really quickly, I think they need to beat FTR. They need to go through this storyline, and then as we get closer to Arthur Ashe, I think a tag team should return Santana and Ortiz. And
I got a chill. I got a chill.
Can you imagine the pop when you hear, yeah, woo, Santana,
you don't understand.
Ortiz? I think that would be great. But yeah, let's keep this going. I'm invested 1,000%. This is one of the best storylines in wrestling right now, and it's tremendous.
This is how Tony feels about FTR. Boo these men.
Listen, man. I don't know, bro. I'm not saying I love them, but fuck the matches, man. The matches are just.
You have to understand. Dude. We're not taking away from how amazing they are in ring, but I totally felt like they were full of shit when the whole situation was going on with WWE.
Oh, yeah.
Hinting towards leaving. Some people have said, they were just lying. It wasn't true. I believe they were planning to leave. And if they would have gotten the chance, they would have done it. Now, I don't know why you went and mentioned Proud and Powerful, because I can talk about them forever. I'm just going to say, little pain in my heart that they never did hold the tag team belts.
Yet.
Jungle Boy, RIP, and Luchasaurus held it. Why the fuck did Proud and Powerful not get it? Sorry. That's how I feel about it. That's where I'm going to leave it. But anyway, I don't want Adam Cole and MJF to end anytime soon. I would jump out of my seat as high as I can jump if they beat FTR for the belts, which I think should fucking happen. And did you guys enjoy the dance-off?
Shit.
Because that was so funny.
Yeah, again, I feel like
you froze like that, which is
oh shit. Good. Your arms need to not be moving.
You did that, bro.
Just when MJF was like, "You want to have a dance off, bro?" I was like, "Wait a minute, what?"
Yeah,
and he leaves the ring and hits the music. I was like, "Get the fuck out of here, bro!" And they just, they went 100%. First of all, Sammy Guevara, I need that Latino card, bro. Turn that shit in.
Ooh,
that man has no rhythm whatsoever. No rhythm, no kind of. There's not one drop of Latino in that man. I don't care what anyone says.
Daniel Garcia took it all for that team, because when Sammy was trying to dance, I was like, who the fuck is this and why is he so stiff? I was so wrong.
His name now is Sammy Guevara.
Guevara.
Take all the Latin accent out of that last name.
Sammy Guevara.
Guevara.
Yeah, isn't it funny too how Adam Cole was trying to be the no rhythm guy? Like with the whole gimmick was supposed to be Adam Cole dancing like this,
just like,
but it was Sammy actually trying it. It was kind of like
he couldn't even stay on beat.
Yeah, like, dude. Yeah, like I'm not a dancer, bro, but I could at least, like, you know what I'm saying? If I'm at the club, I could do a little this and stay on the beat of the song. This dude was all over the place. He was like,
let's just chalk it up. We'll just chalk it up to Sammy's having some crisis of conscience with the Inner Circle, or not? JAS. Sorry, Inner Circle.
Did you just say Inner Circle?
I know, right?
Again.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Why you gotta bring up old shit?
I know, right?
I have a poster of the Inner Circle when they were still together, and they're all flipping the camera off. Oh my god!
I just actually saw because I was looking up what the hell was I looking up that I ran into this? Oh, I was looking up Eddie Kingston stuff, and I saw the video from Grand Slam when Eddie came back, because he was gone for a little bit, and Proud and Powerful were facing Jericho and Hager, and Eddie came out and they had the white face paint and the Dead President's paint, and I was like, fuck, man, we
miss those guys.
God damn it, man, I miss these days.
Well, I've seen Santana's Instagram. He's coming back.
He's cooking something up.
Yeah, he's cooking, but what is he cooking is the question, because he throws out a lot of like innuendos here and there, and you're like, what does this mean? Does this mean this? You can mean a million different fucking things, and you still don't fucking know. He could be talking about Café Bustelo, and you wouldn't know. I give it up to Sammy. He was stiff as a brick in the wind, but he went for it. Respect.
That's true.
And you can't take away from Sammy as an athlete, as a wrestler.
Bro, imagínate, this guy he's wearing them tight little underwear and boots, and he's got to try to dance now in the ring. He's probably, self-conscious and shit, but he's,
I don't
he
think
still went out there and did his thing.
I think Sammy's very, very, very secure in his body. That's what I think. Because otherwise, why would he wear manties that show little slivers of his ass?
Yeah, that's
just saying.
Listen.
Just saying. But I enjoyed the dance off. I thought that shit was hilarious. Of course, MJF killed it because I think MJF used to be in musical theater.
Oh, okay.
I think he has that in his background, which is why he sings. Now you can see he actually can keep to a rhythm. But the funniest of all of them was definitely Adam Cole. And, MJF cut the music because he was like, what the fuck's he doing? That was funny as hell. They finally got a double clothesline out.
Right.
I was screaming and hollering. My husband was like, I can't believe that's what pinned Daniel Garcia. And I'm like, of course it had to happen.
Yeah. Even before the like even the little things when you look at these like angles, like when MJF is like, you want to have a dance off, and he goes and hits the music, and as they're doing their thing and MJF is about to start doing his thing, bro, Adam Cole is on the turnbuckle.
Yes.
And he's like mortified. He's like, oh my fucking, he's just like this, like looking off into the crowd, like, oh my fucking God, are really?
This
like
is gonna happen.
You can't even see his face, but you can tell from the body language that he's like mortified from the situation. So it's like, man, that's great.
Yeah, it's not the first time that he's done this. I believe in the Indies he's actually danced too. So this is not the first time that Adam Cole has done this. Yeah. When Adam Cole had some more meat on him, because Adam Cole is a smidget thinner than he used to be.
What's up with him and wrestling and shirts on now? He never really used to wrestle with a shirt on.
I think the shirt thing is because it's the Better Than You Bebe shirt. Because MJF kept it on too.
Oh, okay.
Could be. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they're just, promoting the shirt. I need to get myself one of those before it's not a thing anymore.
That's one of those things about AEW that bothers me is like they come out with shirts and then in a week they're obsolete. So I tend to buy ones that I'm just gonna like love forever. Yeah. I mean, I guess it really at the end of the day doesn't matter. If you like it, you like it. But like I don't want to buy the shirt and then all of a sudden they break up. It's gonna be like I'm gonna look at that shirt and get mad.
Yeah. The shirt that I bought that I think was such a good buy was the TBS shirt for Jade Cargill, that bitch Jade Cargill shirt, because she literally was champ for over a year. So I could wear it over and over again and it was actually relevant. I'll still wear it because she was the inaugural champ. So whatever. But yeah, when they won and Adam Cole went to hand MJF his belt, the Triple B, he stared at it a little too long, and we saw a little crack in their relationship because there's nothing that MJF covets more than his belt. And they had like a little tiff, and Adam Cole was like, no, man, it's cool. It's yours. You're the champ. So I don't know what's going to happen there. I'm okay with that little crack showing, but pull it back. Don't destroy it yet because people are loving this.
But you got to keep putting that little seed, though. You got to keep dropping that little seed because it would keep us on our toes.
Agreed. So anyway, that match was fantastic. And then we had a squash match, which we don't have to really dig into because, it was Kayla Sparks, for people who don't know who she is, against Britt Baker. I wish they would have let Kayla do some stuff, but it really was a squash. It was just for Britt Baker to come and destroy her, and people can be happy they put a women's match in there. I would have been okay if they wouldn't have had a women's match yesterday because, honestly, it really was about blood and guts. No, you wouldn't have been happy.
No, hell no. Oh. I need more. I need more.
Yeah.
Actually, I think they should take Rampage and make that shit an all women's show.
That's
because if you're gonna keep doing this bullshit where you're like booking and you're like, okay, we're gonna do this and let's just have the Outcasts go out there and you guys get about 5.5 minutes, and then once you guys are done, we'll do this. It's like, come on, man. Like, you got too many talented women on this roster. Where the fuck is Abaddon, bro? Where's Serena D, bro?
Amen.
When are we getting Thunder Rosa back? Like, can we get at least a vignette? Because when you watch Collision, during the beginning title, whatever you call the opening of the show, they showcase the performers who are going to be on that episode, and they keep putting Thunder Rosa on there, and I'm like, oh shit, I saw Thunder Rosa. That means she's going to be on the show, and then she's not. So it's like,
well, I do hear that Thunder Rosa's been training and she's close. Yeah. Like, she's been in the ring now. So she
better be back soon.
She's coming soon.
Yeah.
That pop when we hear doo, 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 And
Oh, yeah.
there's talk. I know that Andrade has mentioned that that would be an interesting to add her to his
So, like,
like his new
Gobernables.
faction. That would be pretty cool.
No, don't please don't bring them up, please, because if these rumors are true of Roosh leaving, I swear to God, I'm going to
No.
cry.
I don't
I'm
think that's
going
Roosh that's
to
leaving. I
cry.
think they're just talking about adding Thunder as the first and only woman of
No,
the
but
faction.
there's Roosh, who I think was on a 1 year, and he's been very quiet. And Jose was on Twitter talking about we'll have an update on the future of things, and there's been little scuttlebutt that he might be going to WWE, which
That
I think he would be phenomenal in NXT. Put the belt on him, let him have a year-long run with the belt. Him and Dragon Lee can do stuff there. That'd be cool.
no.
But I love Roosh in
Roosh needs to stay in
AEW. So
AEW. Roosh needs to stay in AEW.
we'll see.
I'm at this point when I hear stuff like that, I just like, you know what, I'll deal with it when it happens because
I'll deal with it when it happens.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'll just like, okay, he's there, okay, whatever. But
don't
like,
put it out in the air.
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
I don't want to get it out there. But
don't say it. Don't
going
talk
back
about
to the women's thing too. I'd love a women's only show, but I feel like we still need to have that women's representation on the other shows. Yeah. And I agree. As much as I love Kayla Sparks, yeah, I would have loved for there to have been more to the match. You could have done a little bit more if you were going to do a squash match. Why not have Toni Storm come out and mess with things? Or heck, you could even have Kayla Sparks go over Britt and because the Outcast helped cost her the match or something. But there needed to be something you need to if you're going to just like Lou said, it almost sometimes feels like an afterthought. It can't be, we got to squeeze a women's match in there. There needs to be, all right, what can we do?
Yes.
Every women's segment needs to be perpetuating a women's storyline forward. Yeah, there's going to be some times where you're just promoting the wrestler and their moves, but you've got to promote the storylines. Britt could have just grabbed the mic and start going off on the Outcast.
Yes.
Tony Khan mentioned that he had considered a women's Blood and Guts, but then with Jamie Hayter's injury, he pulled back on it. But they need to build to that or something. Yes. There needs to be an Outcast versus OGs, and it really feels like they can't make up their mind. Is it going to be with Sheeta? Is it going to be with Willow? Is it going to be with Sky? Who's going to be part of it?
Yeah.
I think what they should do originally, I was thinking Thunder Rosa needs to be that fifth member for the OG side for like a 5-on-5. Right. But if she's going to be on Collision only, whatever, they'd let her do her thing there. I think it should be that the Outcast should get 2 more people, have this whole thing. The 5th member of the AEW OGs needs to be Abaddon. Can you imagine Abaddon in a Blood and Guts match? Can you imagine the setup is great. They could have had Britt Baker in the ring, the Outcasts around. Ruby goes to get something from under the ring, and this white arm grabs her, pulls her underneath the ring, and then Ruby comes running out of the ring screaming, and then Abaddon comes crawling out like the ring. And then stands up and does like the Evil Dead Rise look. And there's so much you can do.
There's so much.
Abaddon makes me so frustrated because there's so much story you can do with that character. Yeah. They don't get any TV time.
There's a lot of women that are not being showcased, and like Diamante.
Yeah.
And she's phenomenal. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, she did get a little bit of on ROH, they did give her some interaction, I think, with she had an interview segment where she was able to get some stuff going. But you're right, like you've got Diamante, you've got all these talented performers, and yet out of the blue we're getting Marina Shafir versus Statlander. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love as you call her, Snacklander. I love to get a Snacklander match, but like there should have been some kind of build up to that.
Listen, why I said I was okay with there not being a women's match is because you guys hit the nail on the head. Like, what is the point of picking 2 names out of a hat and throwing it in there as an afterthought, like you said, Myndrunner, just to say, we put a women's match on TV? I would much rather have something substantial with some kind of storyline, and then just giving me these off, the top matches. Like, why isn't Chris Statlander having some kind of a fucking feud with someone? She just got back. Why isn't someone showing how pissed off they are that she just came back and has a belt? You know, like build a storyline around your champions, right?
Yeah.
Tony Storm squashing people, Chris Statlander squashing people, but then we take months to build the males storyline, and you get these phenomenal matches. People are not invested in the women's match. A lot of people complain, oh, the women's matches suck, or there's not enough women's matches. But as soon as they get something, they walk away, because guess what? You didn't build up to this. Nobody's really interested. Marina Shafir, how do you waste Chris Statlander on Marina Shafir? I'm sorry. I am not a fan. She has a lot of work to do. And if you are going to put Chris Statlander to defend her belt, give me someone worth watching. Give me the Sheeta. Give me the Abaddon. Give me the Deeb.
Emi Sakura. Yeah.
Emi Sakura. Like, what the fuck?
The
I know the Magical Girls is injured, but
the roster of women that they have, it's just
they
like
have such a
even
nice
the Outcast thing. Even the Outcast thing, it's like, okay, get to the fucking point already. Like, what are we doing here? What are we building this thing towards? Like, it's just you coming out, you're spray painting people. Next week, you come out, you do the same shit. Either you lose, you win, you spray paint somebody. It's like, okay, what's the fucking point? Where is the group thing here that you seem to be building? Like, it's weird.
Exactly. Like, you need to give me more. You have Willow. You have Athena. I know she's in Ring of Honor, but give me a fucking break. Put that woman on TV, live TV. She should be on Dynamite. She should be on Collision. Athena's a beast.
Oh,
I just don't.
Amazing. She is ROH.
I can't fathom it. But you know, ROH champions wrestle on Claudio Castagnoli. They wrestle on Dynamite. They wrestle on Collision. Why is the Athena and Willow match, why did that get pushed to Rampage? I'm just saying, like, I would rather not see a squash because it pisses me off than, you know, to have a women's match at all. Like, just fucking put some thought process into it. You do have Will Washington there. He is an encyclopedia of wrestling. Use his brain. Let him come up with a fucking storyline or two. You know, you have 3 fucking shows on TV. There should be a woman's storyline for each fucking show.
Right.
Period.
Absolutely.
Period.
There's no excuse.
Even Diamante, bro. Even Diamante. She's beefing with Layla Gray and ROH. Like, who gives a fuck about Layla Gray? I mean, no disrespect, but
unless
they're beefing over because Mark Sterling, and you know, because she beat her one match, they cheated. So now it's like, oh,
no,
I got the winner's person, you didn't. I'm like, really? This is what we're doing with these two? Like, I mean,
like Willow and Athena have something going.
Mm-hmm.
Put that shit on Collision.
Right.
Put that shit on Dynamite.
There's no excuse for not doing it.
No. There's no excuse.
There's no, and it feels like the women's division storylines, they're like afterthoughts or they're half thought out. Like the Outcast, I think the Outcast idea is brilliant, but
there's no
enough
depth.
Already. What is it building towards? Yeah, you need to perpetuate these stories. There's no excuse. You could take, I guarantee, if with the right storytelling, you could make Marina Shafir the top heel. If you had presented her more like a Hook. Or I know you take a big swing. You could. I'm not saying she's worthy of it. You'd want to spend that energy on some of the folks that are much.
I like Marina.
I think that she was mispackaged, and some of this could be we don't know what goes on backstage. You know, she had some issues with Thunder Rosa. It sounded like Marina Shafir. Some of her interviews, it sounds like she's not very open to criticism. Some of the interviews that she had, she came across a bit self-absorbed, but. I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I can't judge her. I don't know what's going on in the background. But if you put her like in the Blackpool Combat Club, be the one female member and repackage her as kind of this almost a Shayna Baszler kind of character, I think that would work. But they kind of just flubbed her. I feel like the reason that Jade held the title for so long is they didn't know what to do with Jade, other than go ahead.
No, because I'm saying the original storyline was for Chris Statlander to take the belt from Jade.
Yeah. But you could have, you pivot, then you say, okay, Statlander's out for a year, pivot. Start building up somebody else that could be that to take that place.
Yeah.
Taya Valkyrie, it's great to have her, someone of her talent. It just seems like they're kind of like, okay, well, we're going to have you now feud, and we're going to kind of make you a heel. But now that you're in Canada, we're going to make you baby face again. I don't think they really, they need
a lot of thought process.
Yeah. It's depressing because there's so many great storylines going on elsewhere.
Yeah.
In AEW.
The men's stories, there are stories on every corner for all the wrestlers practically. Yep. And it just fucking sucks to me that you finally put a belt on Chris Statlander and you're fumbling her. You're ball dropping, as it's one of my things that I like to say, they like to ball drop up in this place. And I get so mad because I'm like, Chris Statlander is a fucking beast. Athena should be coming after that belt.
Yeah, man.
Come on.
And it's funny too how they threw Willow and Athena on Rampage like last week for the Bret Hart. And I mean, again, that was because Willow got sick or whatever injury had happened that she couldn't do Dynamite. But it's like, dude, I'm pretty sure that Willow's gonna beat Athena this Friday for the title. So like, can you put her on the fucking show today so that like that kind of bleeds into that to kind of like, do you not want people to buy this show? I mean, it's fucking, you know what I mean?
Like, say we're not AEW marks. We are AEW fans because we do critique the product. Yeah. And this has been a problem for me. And as I know, probably for you guys as well, is the way that they fumble their women roster. They're not novices anymore. You have women that can wrestle on the roster. You need to utilize them and make people actually give a fuck about them. Give them a storyline that means something. Thing going on.
Like Jamie Hayter, when Jamie Hayter, when she was champion, like they were standing for her matches. Like the people were into it. What was the Jamie Hayter versus Toni Storm was one of those matches that was like everybody was like, what's excited for. You can build that up. You can have that happen, and it's almost like, and I don't think I do think it's an afterthought, but we're beyond the level where we're trying to get women's wrestling noticed. I mean, if you just go online, you can just find women's wrestling everywhere. There's no excuse for it. And Thunder Rosa and Britt Baker broke that ceiling when they had their lights out match. That was the first step. And then bringing Saraya in and having her. And I don't know what Madison Rayne does, but apparently she's behind the scenes doing something. I mean, I don't think
doing what.
I don't know what she's doing, but if you have so much potential, you could bring in characters like the Iconics who don't necessarily wrestle as well as others, but their personalities. You could create more personalities. I think it would be interesting I don't know how you guys would feel what if Jack Perry challenged Statlander for the TBS title and pulled China?
They don't do intergender in AEW, but she would because Chris Statlander has wrestled intergender.
She's more than a woman. I don't know the thing she does, but she I'm trying to learn it, but it's like I think that would be an interesting take, but they probably wouldn't do it. But there's such a need for their spotlight and to promote. There's so many storylines. The fact that Abaddon, who's one of the most over personalities, and she's barely been on TV ever since they took Dark and Dark Elevation away.
She hasn't been on anything since the Dark and Dark Elevation have gone away.
And yet, when you load up Fight Forever, she's the first character you see in the character selection.
It's just really a fumble. At
least put her on fucking Ring of Honor, dude. You have plenty of time to put them on Ring of Honor instead of giving me AR Fox every week, bro.
Yeah.
And I know that Deeb was injured, but I don't believe that's the case anymore. Why isn't the professor out? Like, what is going on? You also have a line of Japanese wrestlers, women wrestlers. Why aren't they being utilized? I believe Maki Ito has even expressed interest in joining AEW. Why haven't you snatched that up? Like, I don't want them, like Maki Ito, sure, bring her in, but I don't want them to start signing any more people because you're not utilizing the ones you have.
Yeah, they don't need to.
Anyway, as you can see, this is a sore spot for even diehard AEW fans. Yes, it would be.
Oh, that'd be tremendous, Anna.
It would be. And Athena against Statlander, that is something that has been in my head. I'm like, why isn't there a feud building up? I know Jade's going to come back as a face. Something should be, a storyline should be there already. They need to have these things pre-thought, pre-written, months in advance. I'm sorry. Put more effort into your women so that people actually get invested.
Toni Storm versus Jade for the title.
That has to happen. She said she's going to kick her tits off her chest.
I mean, Jade would be the perfect like surprise fifth member of OG original, and that's how you bring her back. Like, I don't understand. You know, people say booking is, I know booking is hard, but my God, some of this stuff like writes itself.
Yeah, exactly.
We wrote like 10 stories on this show already, just talking it out.
Imagine that. We're waiting for that surprise fifth member in Blood and Guts, and all of a sudden you hear a storm is coming. Crowd would go nuts.
It would.
And then give her the Goldberg tree. I mean, let her come in and just destroy everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, they built her as a beast. You can't turn her into a mouse. Like, you have to keep her beast mode. But anyway, good Lord, Courtney, you are so heel. I'm not even putting that on the screen. We're at the main event. So I think I actually got it down the order that people came out in. So let's see. It was the Golden Elite versus the BCC, and it started with Kenny Omega and Claudio Castagnoli. Then we got Hangman Adam Page and Pac. Then we got Nick Jackson and Moxley. Then Matt Jackson and Wheeler Yuta. And finally, Kota Ibushi and Takeshita came out.
Poor Wheeler.
There was. What?
Poor Wheeler Yuta, bro.
Well, we're gonna get to
R.I.P. Wheeler Yuta.
We are going to get to Wheeler. They brought out forks, broken glass, thumbtacks, chains, but what got me was the bed of fucking nails.
Yeah.
Okay. Pac and Castagnoli were bumping heads throughout the match. Pac got pissed. He flipped everybody off and left. Don Callis didn't want Takeshita to get hurt, so he pulled him out. I guess that's it for Takeshita and the Blackpool Combat Club. They handcuffed Moxley so he couldn't do shit because they know he would dominate in a blood and guts match. Hello, he was the first one to bleed. And Claudio got whooped, but then it was Yuta. As always, I wrote that in paren, took the final beatdown, giving the Golden Elite the win. But holy shit, did anybody else cringe when people were falling onto the bed of nails?
Man, dude, listen, I've said before on several different podcasts, like I'm a sissy in my old age. Like I used to watch like really horrible videos and eat like potato chips and shit. Like I didn't care. But like as I've gotten older, I've said this before, like when I started watching GCW, I would watch the live pay-per-views because I bought the Fight Plus whatever, so it's $5 and you can watch them. Yeah. And like I found myself going, you know what? I'm not watching these live because I can't watch these deathmatch light tube. You know, these people put like a row of light tubes and then another row on top, crisscross, and then another row. So it's like 4 layers of tubes, and they're falling through them and shit. And I'm like, you know what? I'll watch this after it airs when I know no one died.
Yeah.
And then I'll watch it because I can't watch it live because I'm literally like, oh my God, no, dude, like no, like I
thought somebody was gonna die.
Joey Janela set his foot on fire. I mean, it's
I can't, dude.
Listen,
some of this stuff is just too much.
I'm gonna let you guys get back to it, but I just gotta make a comment on Courtney's comment. Moxley actually was not made to look weak. The fact that they cuffed him shows that he is the toughest member of the Blackpool Combat Club. They were trying to incapacitate him because he was going to stop the Golden Elite from winning.
He was stomping Kenny Omega into a bed of nails, just staring at Kota Ibushi. Like that was pretty badass. Of course, blood is raining down his face.
and the back of his head because he
Oh,
fucking landed on a bed of nails with his neck and head.
I got a question about the ending though, because I thought Wheeler Yuta they ended the match because Wheeler Yuta passed out, but they're
I
saying
think it was a ref stoppage. I think.
Well, no, they Tony Schiavone said, I went back and listened because on Simon Miller he brought up that it was actually Mox submitted. Mox
Really
submitted once he was cuffed because he didn't want anything to happen to Yuta.
To die?
Yeah, to die. He didn't want Yuta to die.
I believe
but that was kind of like the cameramen were on Yuta, not on Moxley when he did that. But then Schiavone made a comment afterwards that it was Mox that stopped the match, and I kind of got lost on that. But that's interesting. That's an interesting little tidbit.
Yeah, that goes to these little technical issues that they keep having every week, and it's like they don't seem to have them on Collision. They always seem to have them on Dynamite, whether it's like audio issues or John Moxley literally walking up to Nick Jackson and telling him what we're gonna do next, as they're supposed to be like killing each other, but he goes over and goes, "Hey man, we're gonna da, 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 da," and the fucking camera's like literally pointed right at them. Like I think that has something to do with that. Like that was probably the angle that was supposed to play out. But camera was not in the right place.
The camera does fuck up every now and then and misses big spots. That was one of them. I don't believe that Wheeler Yuta is actually injured, Courtney.
They're dead. I'm pretty sure he's not dead.
I think they all have their bruises that they're contending with today, but I don't think anybody got seriously injured, thank God. I did think at one point when Matt Jackson and Wheeler were on the top that someone was going to die. I did cross myself a couple of times for them, so I don't know. I'm glad nobody died.
I like how it's like if everybody else involved, it was like one of the most brutal matches and bloody matches they've ever had. But for Moxley, it was Wednesday. You know, it was just
I eat this for breakfast every day. He bleeds for promos. Like, did you guys see that promo? He was like in the stairway.
On the stairs.
He turns around and he's bleeding, and we're like, what?
Actually, you know what's funny about that? I think I did your show that week, and it was funny because I think we brought that up because it was like he bled for like the 4 or 5 straight weeks in a row. Like he bled on the show, and then that week he had a match and he didn't bleed. We were like, "Oh my god, he didn't bleed!" What? And then they showed a promo at the end, and he was fucking bleeding in the promo.
Yes, like he was like, I think he did it. I'm gonna tell you why I think he did it, because there was a lot of commentary on social media about why does Mox always have to bleed, and I think as a big fuck you to everybody, he was like, I'm going to bleed during a promo and cut himself and just said, you know what, I'm just gonna give you blood all the fucking time. But sometimes we make like bets, or we'd be like, who's gonna bleed first? Yes. And you know, we usually are like, duh, it's gonna be Mox. So when it's not him, we're all like, oh, he didn't get first blood. That's crazy.
Moxley stabbed 2 people in the head with a fork, and yet he was the first I saw bleeding. Yeah. How's that happen? That's
what we were saying. We were like, all these motherfuckers coming from the Golden Elite were getting forks to their fucking forehead, and Mox just turned into the crowd and just burst it open. How? The glass looked very
fucking that was gnarly.
I thought that shit was made out of sugar. Like, I'm like, is this sugar glass? It wasn't.
I think it was worked glass. However,
so?
I think so, because there were some points where like guys they got thrown with their back completely exposed onto it, and they weren't like gushing blood from their back like they should have been.
You're right. And
there was one piece though, like Claudio picked up like a piece that looked like the top of a bottle, and he kind of looked at that, and then I guess he chucked it. But I don't know. You're right. I think it was a worked.
Yeah, I'm hoping so, because there were like little shards, and what people don't know is that those little shards can get embedded deep in you can't find
your eye, bro, under your eyelid and shit.
So, you know,
Tax on the other hand.
Because listen, I saw a match that scarred me many moons ago in ECW. I watched a match between Ian and Axel Rotten. Okay, and they had what's called a Taipei death match. Okay, so these crazy motherfuckers wrapped their wrists in tape, and they like glued it and dipped their hands in broken glass, and they made sure to let you know, like, you're not, this is real shit, like this is real glass. And they and they're brothers, and they brutalize each other, bro. Like,
Jesus.
So
well, we were talking yesterday, like, would you rather take the bed of nails or the thumbtacks. And I said thumbtacks simply because the bed of nails just looked like a brutal torture machine.
Yeah.
Like
Let me
the,
tell
like
you
the
something,
Iron
though.
Maiden kind of shit.
I don't know. Let me tell you something, though. Athena had a match with, it was like 2 weeks ago.
Was it
Who
Billy
did she-
Starks?
Kiera Hogan. Her and Kiera Hogan had a match in ROH.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
was like,
It was a
Yeah.
street match.
bro, they had, it
I
was
still
a
have to watch
Philadelphia
that.
street fight. That's what it was. Or a Chicago street fight, one of the two.
I still have to watch them.
And dude, they had thumbtacks, and Athena fell on those tacks. And my God, they were all in her arm, shoulder, and I mean, like, you just saw the little circle things on her back because them shits were all the way in her skin. So I was like, yo, I can't, bro. Nah, you're not gonna do that to me. No.
Remember that the second lights out match, it was the Bunny and Penelope versus Ty J.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And Bunny took, like, she's landed flat on her ass on the tacks, and it's just oof, rough.
I mean, it is rough. And Ty was talking about how she had a thumbtack stuck in her head and she didn't even know it. She was on the airplane and stuff, and she didn't find it till later.
Wow.
So yeah, those things are brutal. But I mean, a bed of nails or thumbtacks.
Yeah, I think the bed, though. I think the tips were rounded off. If when you go and you look at it, like, I think they were rounded. I think they were.
They weren't.
They weren't rounded off. Okay.
They weren't perfectly sharp.
Yeah.
But they were thick nails too. They weren't like.
But I don't understand these people who were like, oh, whoa, man, they were like shaved off at the end. They weren't actually like really. Did you really want them to have an actual bed of fucking real nails there? So when Kenny falls on it, he literally gets impaled. Is that what you wanted?
And dies.
Yeah. Like, people are ridiculous, dude.
So did Blood and Guts, did it do it for you guys? Was it everything you wanted it to be? Because I was pretty satisfied.
I think so. I got a question for you guys. What are your thoughts on the debut of Kota Ibushi?
Oh, Kota, do you guys know that after the match was over and everything, I just saw a clip, he threw himself into the nails? Yeah. He did a back bump into the nails for no reason.
Yeah, just because.
I think it was great. I think if you were going to wait all this time to debut him, you debut him in a Blood and Guts match. I think it was good. And Omega said that we'll see him again. So,
do you think he did enough in the Blood and Guts match, or do you think
I don't think they wanted to injure him. I don't think they wanted to injure him in his first performance with AEW, which is probably why they held him back as the last person to come out as opposed to the first person to come out, and why he didn't do as much damage. Like, he didn't get as much damage. It was because they really don't want to destroy his, they didn't want him to get injured on his first debut. So I think that's why. I think he did enough. I think it was enough for him.
Did he do like a moonsault or something on top of Moxley on top of the bed of nails? That was crazy.
Yes, he did. And Moxley was probably like, yes, give me more. Because he's such a fucking, he loves pain. Yes, Kota did look like he had gained some weight. But anyway, it is about that time, y'all.
Oh, shit.
Choose art.
So the way we're gonna do this, I gotta put this on a tweeter. The way we're gonna do this is somebody's got to be one and somebody has to be two. So
I'll be number two.
You'll be number two. Okay. So Lou is taking the number one spot. So you get all the number one questions. And my dear Myndrunner will get all the number two questions. So Lou, let me try something new. I want to, let's see.
Ooh, here we go.
Hello.
Stretched out.
Here we go.
All right. Yes.
So I have to be honest. Myndrunner, you kind of shot yourself in the foot because
Damn.
I was trying to play 4D chess and pick, thinking that you can go easy on number 2.
Yeah.
I have the demon here to help me.
Oh, okay. Let's see if that will help you. First question. Would you rather get stuck on a 15-hour flight with a backed up toilet, and there's only one toilet working, the backed up toilet, or get stuck sitting next to a crying baby who cries the entire freaking flight for a 10-hour flight?
Oh, I got headphones. You didn't equate headphones into this situation. I got my Beats headphones. I put them shits on. That kid could cry all day. Let me tell you something right now. If that's what you got for the hot seat for me, then that's the second. That is not, dude. That was super weak. Like that bounced off. That was like it grazed and it bounced off. It bounced right off the S on my chest. Okay. I've been drinking. Sorry, but no. I will take the crying baby all day because that backed up toilet for 15 hours ain't no way. I'm jumping out the window.
Your second question is going to be disgusting, but hey, whatever. Hey!
Oh, no.
You set yourself up, Myndrunner. With this.
All right. Bring it.
You ready?
Let's do it.
Here we go. Would you rather get down, and by get down, I mean have sex, with someone who hasn't bathed in 3 weeks, or get down with a clean person who has a curable STD, but the STD is active at the time and you're not allowed condoms?
Well, I've done both. Let's see.
Oh
my god! Hey, my 20s were a different time.
3 weeks.
Well,
Nana?
She smelled like onions, but onions and fish. Okay, if I had to choose. And again, I'm trying to think objectively and not reference because, the person matters. Okay, I would go with the unbathed because the STD thing that's a problem. Because I think sometimes like there are some natural women out there, and they're natural and they can be pretty hot.
Don't try to clean that up, bro. Don't try to clean that up.
The jungle. Hey, sometimes a lot of bush is it's pretty sexy. But see that the thing is, I'd rather go there than the STD because then that's a whole medical thing, and you don't I don't want oatmeal coming out my dick later on. I want to make sure that my situation's good because you can always take a bath afterwards. You can always get the stink off of you. But STD, you got to go.
Here, bro. Here you go. You are the champion now.
Yes. Oh my God.
Hey, when you go to a military college, your standards drop pretty far. You take what you can. I've seen some scary jungles down there, and
oh my God.
But
it never ends. It doesn't stop. He just keeps going.
Hippie girls. Yeah, I lived in Northern California for a while. There's some,
He said hippie girl.
Whoa.
It's sometimes you got to go there, but yeah, I think I'd go with the 3 weeks, and and just hold my nose.
Oh my!
We're not talking about you, babe. Till Deb just walked in.
Did she throw something at you?
Deb smells like roses all the time.
That's right. They're just hypothetical questions.
Deb's farts smell like roses. Yes. It's the gross. She goes, "Is this that grossed out question?"
Busy, okay, I'm busy right now. I don't know what's going on.
All right, Lou. Get your mind ready. Would you rather walk around in public for 24 hours wearing someone else's shit-stained used underwear, or walk around in public with your whole junk hanging out and a dirty butt with no pants or no undies for 10 hours?
He's getting the easy questions here. What's going on?
You picked Myndrunner.
Again, two things I've done before, but listen, go ahead.
If I'm walking around with my junk exposed and a dirty ass, that means I've abandoned all hope of any semblance of life. So at that point, I don't care about anything. I am homeless, living on the street, and I've abandoned life, family, regret, fear, anything. So I'm walking down the street and everyone's looking at my shit. Okay, they're gonna look at it. You're gonna see it. It's there. You're gonna have to deal with it, because I'll be damned if I'm going near anybody's. And you know what? It's funny because I work in the medical field, and that's one thing that does not bother me. Like urine, feces, blood. If I'm in the hospital setting, it's like I'm unaffected. Even smells, I could care less. But like in my personal life, oh my God, I can't even know.
Yeah. So you're taking junk hanging out.
Everybody's looking at my stuff.
Dirty ass.
You're all looking at the angle of my dangle. Okay. Absolutely.
Shit.
Yeah, that's because everybody else has to deal with your shit, not you dealing with someone else's.
That's exactly it right there. I'm just existing. You are the ones who have to deal with it. Okay.
Oh my God. All right.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, it's your turn again, sir. I told you screwed yourself.
You played yourself.
Here we go. After this, we get 2 different bonus questions. All right, here we go. Would you rather get so drunk you throw up on someone you like and it gets in their mouth, or get thrown up on by someone you like and it gets in your mouth?
Again, 2 things I've done before. All right. Let me tell you, in military college, we had this thing called ring figure, and things get out of control. I'm going to take the first because it didn't get in her mouth, but I was going downtown at the time, and Jägermeister does not.
He has a fucking story for it.
Jägermeister does not agree with me, and let's just say, and let's just say I there was no calling her back after that, but I have been puked on, not necessarily in the intimate setting, but I've been puked on. But see, that was a different situation. That wasn't like a story kind of thing. That was like she was sick. I was taking her to the hospital, that kind of thing. But the first one, yeah, that's okay. So the girl I was seeing at the time, okay. Military college, they had this, they kept you, it was like prison, but then you were allowed to go off campus for religious things, so I joined this Baptist student union, and I'm not Baptist at all, but I joined the student union just to get out of the off campus. And I met this girl, and she was very, very devout, but she could get hot and heavy. When the youth minister wasn't around, we could find her little places and get hot and heavy.
Lose face.
No, but here's the thing. And again, and of course, I was really into this girl. I introduced her to my parents, and I said, "What did you guys think of her?" Later on, my dad goes, "She had a mustache," and I was like, "Oh." But but your standards drop when you are deprived of a lot of things. But then here's the thing: is I was really into her, and then we were making out, and then she stopped because of religion, and she left. And so we were at this hotel thing, this hotel party called Ring Figure, and I had such bad blue balls at the time that I just was like, fuck it. And I started drinking Jägermeister. They're taking shots, and this is the drunkest I'd ever been in my life. And I've been drunk, but this was like those movies where they got the, and so I'm hammered, and I end up with this other girl, and we're partying and we're doing all this stuff, and we get into her. She went to Ring Figure with this other dude who was a friend. It was a long story. We got into this room, and we just start going, and it was crazy. But Jaeger, I just thinking about it, I still get that taste in my mouth. But it's like, we're going at it, and I'm going down. And again, this wasn't a case of Jungle Bush. She was well manicured.
Look at that! He took his hat off.
But you can't help. Like, you can't stop it. Like, and I know, and I hope she didn't take it personal, because it wasn't her pussy didn't smell bad. It was the Jaeger. But what happened as soon as I went down, it was like I was like, hey, baby. I went, as soon as I pulled the panties down and I leaned down, it was like,
you threw up on her junk. Oh my god!
I caked that cootie with such an awful mix of Jägermeister and I think I had hamburgers or something, but it and I felt bad for it. I kept telling her, no, it's not you. It's not you. I got her a towel. I got her a towel. And she still was pissed.
Amen.
Oh God!
Oh my God, bro! What's happening?
It was rough.
Yo.
It was rough. But I tried to apologize. There was no apologizing. I got my ass kicked out of there, and then I tried to call her the next day and try to explain, and no. But I hope to this day I didn't give her a complex.
If that dirty bitch would have picked up the phone after you threw up,
I would have married
her
on her cervix, then
that's true love. If she did that.
Don't say, let the man finish his story. We're too far in.
It's like a what do you call them? What's that channel? The crime channel?
Oh, the forensic files.
ID channel.
Oh my gosh, it's like a forensic files episode.
There was a crime on her nana.
But I couldn't stop. It wasn't like I could go. Ooh, I was, when you're in the moment, and it's just. I just hope she didn't get a complex.
Ruins the moment.
I hope she doesn't feel like nervous now. The next guy that went down on her, just like,
You probably helped her, because she'll never have a stinky nana in her life. That's because she's scared. No 3 weeks without being bathed with that one.
I guess I got to change eater of nachos to.
No, don't even finish that.
Oh my God.
Don't do that.
Eater of nanas.
Oh my God. All right, we're getting into the bonus question. I'm going to go with Lou first. Lou, are you ready for your bonus question? The bonus questions are never nasty. They're just thoughtful. But we have to
they can turn
bring
nasty.
This down. This was no more questions need to be asked according to Mr. Anderson.
To do the Snoopy again. To cleanse this.
Okay. Here we go. What would be your top 3 action plans if you were all of a sudden thrown into a zombie apocalypse and go?
My first 3 action plans would be, okay, so we already have the underground generator. No shit, we do. We have an underground generator in the house. We have dry food goods and all that shit there. I would probably, and I'm totally stealing this idea from the Last of Us TV show, I would totally drive to Home Depot, or in my case, Lowe's, which is my place of employment, and load up on everything that I would need there as far as wood and planking and barring myself up and barricading my place, because we have, I mean, I don't want to sound like we're some type of survivalist or anything, but we have over 15 firearms in this house. We've got thousands of rounds of ammo in this house. We've got the underground generator, dry goods. We've got plenty of liquids, water. There's a lake in the backyard. We have a filtration system if we need it. Like we don't
God
fuck
damn.
around over here in Florida, bro. So
If you get caught in a zombie apocalypse, head to Lou's house.
Yes.
yeah, no, don't come here. Don't.
Yeah, you
I
get
mean,
shot.
y'all. If I see y'all are good. But if I see some random coming through, hey, listen, you taking slugs, bro. There's only so much. It's only so much power and stuff here. So like, I can't feed the whole goddamn village.
Florida folks deal with dinosaurs on a daily basis. They got gators everywhere, so they're ready.
That's hilarious. All right, let's bring. I hope Myndrunner this doesn't go south.
Going
All
south.
right. Here's your bonus question.
Right. What you got?
If you could take one superhero from any promotion, DC, Marvel, whatever, and make them into a real person, so
Bring them into the real world.
Our world, yes. Bring them into our world. Who would it be and why?
Oh man, I wanted that question.
You can answer that question too, Lou.
Well, let me answer the zombie question real quick too. I would copy a lot of what Lou said. I mean, there's a Lowe's just down the street. I already talked about this when the pandemic hit. I was like, this turns into zombies. We're gonna board up the wall. We're gonna have a little chicken cage. They're gonna be our warning system, for when the zombies come. We're gonna have all kinds of things and make a little crow's nest, and then we're gonna dig a tunnel under to the Lowe's that's down the street, so that we can continue to get supplies and go from there. Anyways, that's that. It's funny because immediately a lot of times we think about Superman, but the problem with bringing Superman to this world, then it's the Superman syndrome. We expect if something goes wrong, we're going to be angry at Superman. Why didn't you save those people? I would actually want Iron Man, because I would want Stark technology in this world. I think Stark technology would be something that could really improve. And I think there's a lot of things that Tony Stark would bring into our world that would be tremendous. So I'm going to go Iron Man.
That's what Courtney said. That's excellent. Lou, what would you do? Who would you bring?
Not really a superhero, I guess, but I would bring in Suitor, which is the is it Norse god of Ragnarok, who brings about the destruction of the entire realm of Asgard, because this world is all fucked up and we need a reboot. So let's just fucking burn it all and start it over. Because at this point, we've got people pretending to be AI and shit on TikTok and all that shit.
Oh yeah, what's her name? What was her name?
Thanks for the heart.
All
right. Hey, wrestling is trash. I broke Squishy. All right.
Yes. We were just talking about this Myndrunner and I on his show.
Yeah.
We can't this is this
of the TikTok NPC, people pretending to be non-players, characters.
Yeah. NPCs. Ugh.
The chick that goes, yeah. She has she keeps a fucking hair straightener in her hand. Anyway, she's making $7,000 a day playing NPC. Just so y'all know.
What I hate about that shit is that when I see shit like that, it's like by the time it trickles down to me,
it's too late.
It's already done. It's done. Like I can't do it.
Brainstorm and come up with a real stupid idea that people are going to pay us to do.
Absolutely.
Anyway, exactly. People, this was one of those shows.
It was a show. It absolutely was.
Yes, I enjoyed it so much. Thank you, Myndrunner, for the documentary of Myndrunner.
True Myndrunner stories.
Yes. Next on True Myndrunner stories. Lou, as always, it's been so much fun. Guys, I think I'll definitely have you guys back on together. This was just perfect. But anyway, Thank you to everybody in the room. Thank you for all the comments. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Tune in to Wrestling is Trash. Tune in to Mental Health Mondays. Again, if you missed the beginning, I am going to be on Mental Health Monday on July 31st. So make sure you catch it. All right, y'all. Have a good night. Be safe. Go hydrate. And also talking about Mental Health Mondays, in the description, it begins with, if you need help, there's a number, there's an email. Take care of your mental, people. All right, y'all.
Absolutely.
Love, peace, and wrestling. Adios.